time on stage, and this kid is fucking awesome. So please put your hands together right now for Drew Landry, everybody.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? You good? You good? Everybody good? I'm doing pretty good myself, thanks for asking. I never know what to say when I first get on stage, you know what I mean? Like, how do I break the ice? What do I just begin talking about? Anyone high tonight? The reason I ask is because I've noticed that in this day and age, people are very creative with getting high. I was at a party the other night, and I saw kids, smoking weed, taking X, all the defaults, the classics, as they say. But I saw something that not only fascinated me, it kind of motivated me a bit. I saw kids snorting Adderall, the ADD medication. That gets you high. I didn't know that. Snorting the ADD medication, Adderall, gets you high. Write that down. And I thought that's fantastic, but who discovered that? Come on, you can't just accidentally snort Adderall. So that means that at some point, someone was at a party like, okay, wait, we're out of weed and we're out of booze. Don't you have ADD? I got an idea. Give me those pills, sir. Yes, now I can pay more attention to the party. This is fantastic. I saw kids snorting muscle relaxers. I thought, you know what? I'm going to find a new way to get high. I'm going to discover one, and it's going to become a trend. And I did, and I want you guys to try it when you get home, because it works. I snorted Frosted Flakes. I did. I poured them out of the box, chopped them up, made a little line. All of a sudden, Tony the Tiger burst through my window. Yeah! Party drugs are great! Next thing you know, I'm doing coke with Count Chocula. I'm taking bomb hits with Captain Crunch. I'm doing mushrooms with Chef Boyardee. I'm like, dude, you're not even a serial character. He's like, I know, right? But I had to get off that path, that's a messed up place. Because first thing you know, you're snorting Frosted Flakes, having a good old time. Next thing you know, you're on a street corner giving out hand jobs for Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And that's not a good situation. I don't know where this stuff comes from. My mind just takes me to weird places. Just weird places. The other day I was hanging out with this girl. No example. I was hanging out with this girl, and I kind of had a thing for her, right? I had a little crush. So I tried to make moves on her. I tried to make advances. And her reaction to the situation surprised me. She asked me if I had a condom. Now I didn't. But I immediately started searching my pocket to see if I had any objects that I could turn into a condom. Like some sort of condom MacGyver. I was like, wait a second, wait. Okay, I got a piece of gum, a paper clip, and a library card. Let's do this. But she said no. She said no, then she said this little phrase. Maybe some of the fellas here have heard this phrase, maybe some of the ladies have said it. And that phrase is no glove, no love. Anyone heard that? No glove? Yeah, and I was like, what am I on a date with Dr. Seuss? What the hell is this? No glove, no love. But then I just pictured her saying stuff like, I won't fuck you in a house, I won't fuck you with a mouse. I won't fuck you in a box, I won't fuck you with a box. I won't fuck you without a doubt, so go in the bathroom and rub one out. Okay? No. Like I said, weird places. Here's another example. Whenever something awful happens, awful, to someone I know personally, a good friend, a relative, I laugh. No, but I don't laugh at the tragedy itself. I laugh at a small part of the story that nobody else seems to notice. Like this happened a few years ago to my cousin when he was about my age, like 18 years old. He's a skateboarder dude. That's what he does, he skateboards. And whenever he's doing the skateboarding thing, he's got a friend videotaping him. Get some Scorsese shots. Later you can put on YouTube, get some popcorn, watch it. So one time he's riding on a rail, he's doing this thing, and his friend is videotaping him as always, right? Getting some Tarantino shit. He falls off the rail and lands back on the rail, right there. Right where the red fern grows. Right where the wild things are, if I can use another children's book title. And to word this in a G-rated way, his goodie bag opened and candy fell out. I know. Specifically the gumballs, but that's beside the point. Listen. Obviously he went to the hospital. That's the rational thing to do in such a scenario. But here's the part about about it that boggles my mind, okay? Here's the part about the situation that confuses me. My cousin drove himself to the hospital. His friend was with him. What kind of a friend is that? What kind of a friend goes, oh my God, dude, are you okay? Dude, your joke is, we gotta get you to a hospital. Stab! Shotgun! Oh man, let's go. Another little thing about my cousin, little fun fact, little side note, he's gay, he's a gay. Either he's gay or bisexual. I can't remember because I'm making this up, but listen. I gotta cover this one. Listen. A lot of people hate gay people, right? A lot of people are homophobic, and I don't get it. I've never understood homophobia, and here's why. When someone is homophobic, it's usually for a religious reason, right? They say that being gay is against God. Let me tell you something. If you think being gay is against God, then just do this for me. Let's break down heaven for a second. Let's talk about heaven, okay? When you get to heaven, it's got that harmonic, angelic music that, I can't sing, but you know what I'm talking about. Right? Everything is all glittery and shiny. There's dudes in diapers playing harps on clouds. There's fat, naked guys walking around with fairy wings. I'll be damned if heaven doesn't sound like the gayest place in the history of gayness. Heaven's like San Francisco, but higher. That's it. Alright? I'm just saying, for a gay guy, heaven is like, it's like fucking heaven, I guess. Like, that's what it is. And to answer your question, yes, it is my dream to tell that joke in San Francisco. Because they can kill me. I can tell the joke in heaven. It's brutal. That's like my demographic. You guys are a great crowd, and obviously that's great. You know, as a comic, you want great crowds, you want a show to go well. But when a show doesn't go so well, and I'm not talking about I'm talking about a gig from hell, just the worst possible show, it usually is a silver lining. A lot of gigs from hell make great stories. Here's my favorite gig from hell, I love sharing it. This happened about 8 months ago, okay? I'm doing a show at this little, like, dive bar, right? And I'm doing one of my jokes, and in the middle of one of my jokes, well, let me just say this, the crowd was very drunk. Very intoxicated. So in the middle of one of my jokes, I got heckled. But here's the thing, it was the most confusing heckle I've ever heard in my life. I'm still trying to dissect it. I don't get it. Okay, I'm doing a joke, I'm like, heaven's gay, or, you know, Dr. Seuss, and this guy just yells out, every day! That's the whole heckle, there's no twist, that's it. And I was just frozen. I was like, hey, listen, if you're gonna heckle comic, if you're gonna be that mean, at least have it make sense. Come on. If you're a heckler, you can't just be like, peanut butter! You're for your friends! No, it's gotta hit home. But then I felt a little bad for him, you guys. No, seriously, I felt bad for him. So I started to think about it a little more. I thought, what if this guy's not even heckling me? What if he's just very psychologically scarred, emotionally crippled? Like maybe, hey, bear with me, okay? This is a huge generalization, but maybe, when he was 7 years old. His parents were driving him to guitar practice, but they crashed the car, both his parents died. He had to go to a foster home for 7 years until he was adopted by foster parents. But those foster parents abused him every day! And now the only way he can let all that pain and suffering and frustration out in a somewhat cathartic and therapeutic manner is if he goes to random comedy shows, gets extremely hammered, and yells out, every day! I was like, dude, I'll help you. Let's be friends. I'll pick your therapy, I'll give you advice. I'll help you every day, as a matter of fact. And when you really think about it, heckling is an interesting concept. Okay, because hecklers, they're a pain in the ass because they heckle comedy shows, they heckle bands. But if they heckle the right people, they're in the right places at the right time, they could save the world. I'm not being melodramatic, save the world. Like in one of Hitler's speeches. Can you imagine if there were hecklers in Hitler's speeches? Maybe a
Pulled pork sandwich? Anyone?
Maybe Hitler had very low confidence, but he always played easy crowds. That's my person. I want to see how Hitler's rise to power would have went if he had to do it through open mic nights at redneck dive bars. Let's see that Hitler, the stage fright Hitler. Right, imagine that you're at a bar getting booze with your buddies. There's like this tiny stage in the corner with a tiny spotlight. Some guy walks on, he's like, if everyone can please keep their table talk to a minimum, we'll be starting the Dictator open mic. And you're curious, you want to see if any of these guys are good, so you watch. A few other aspiring dictators go up before Hitler. Then the host gets up to bring Hitler up. He's like, all right, everybody, keep it going for Joey Stalin. Let's hear it again for Saddam, the cable guy.
Alright, this next guy, it's his first night dictating, so give it up for Adolf Hitler. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And you just see this funny-looking guy with the little goofy mustache nervously waddle on stage with a little cardboard podium that he made at home. Right? And you can tell he's nervous. He's shaking, he's sweating, stuttering, forgetting stuff. So you figure, okay, I'm gonna mess with him, right? So you just start yelling mean stuff out. Says, hey, check this out, dude. Hey, get off stage, Charlie Chaplin from Charlie Cousin. Hey, I'm awesome. Hey, is that mustache a cum target? Sing? Every day!
Yeah, we got 2 of each.
Okay. Hitler goes home, he's all discouraged, he doesn't know what to think. His girlfriend's waiting for him, she's like, hey kitty cat, that's her pet name for him. Hey kitty cat! How'd your speech go? Want to put it up on Facebook, get some feedback? He's like, I know if I'm cut out for this. No, Adolf, hey, Adolf. What do we always say? What's our little motto? You gotta go through some problems to find a final solution. Same history humor. Right? So Hitler, he's all depressed, right? He just lays in bed all day, staring at the ceiling. Continues to daydream about one day having his own 1-hour HBO dictator special. It'd be a lot like Eddie Murphy Delirious, but it'd be Adolf Hitler, take off that yarmulke, I'm serious. Thank you guys, you've been amazing. I'm Drew Landry, I love you. Good night.
Give it up for Drew Landry, everybody.
Hey, brother, how are you, man? Shit, thanks for coming out, bro. This little kid is a funny motherfucker. I like him. Okay, I will start off with a Chinese joke. I have to do a Chinese joke for every single show.